Bandwidth for this podcast is brought to you by CacheFly at CACHEFLY.com.
Play artist, right on Dynamite.
Playing artist right on Dynamite. MP3 music search, only on Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury vehicles. Sync, say the word.
Welcome back to Mac Break Studio. I'm your host, Brian Gary, and I'm here with Steve Martin. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Nice outfit.
Thanks, man. I mean, I love the silk shirts that you always have.
I sleep in my shirts.
Well, as an editor who is constantly in demand, I'm sure that you are always
I subsist on Coke, red vines, and sleeping in my shirt. That's what an editor's lifestyle is.
If this were the 80s, that first one could be taken many different ways. But it's not. So anyway, we've talked about before the importance of keeping projects organized, especially as they get big and managing your files. And I don't think a lot of people understand how to really harness the power of the browser and all the stuff that's there.
You don't have to take your mouse up here and spill open the disclosure triangle to reveal contents and then double click. Huh. You can actually use the keyboard. In fact, I'm going to say, look, Mom, no hands. No mouse.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is, let's say I'm going to select that bin, that master clips bin.
I dare you.
Without using the mouse. So I'm going to press M. Oh, it selects it. Oh. Now I want to open the bin.
Okay.
I'm going to use the right arrow key. Ooh. Wow. Now I want to go inside the bin. What do? What would you get? Down arrow? Right arrow? What do you think?
I'd go down arrow. No.
No. You're going to go right arrow goes into the bin.
Okay.
And then once you're in the bin, then you can go down in the
This
list
probably
there.
makes our friend Abba Shapiro, who loves the keyboard, very happy.
Yeah.
Doesn't
So
it?
notice down arrow. And now how would I open that bin?
Same thing, right?
Right arrow.
Right arrow.
And how do I close the bin?
Left arrow.
Left arrow. Pretty neat, huh?
Very nice.
Yeah. Okay, so let's look at a couple of other things you can do. I like to work with what I call better bins.
Okay.
So, you can open a bin by just double-clicking on a folder, and it opens in its own window, and you can float this around, move it around the desktop.
Redock it anywhere
and you can
you
then dock it like that by dragging it up there.
Sure.
But better bins, you don't have to do all that. You can actually hold down your Option key and then double-click on the bin and watch it self-docks.
So opens and docks all in one move.
Opens and docks all in one fell swoop.
It's the ripple delete
It's great. And new to Final Cut Pro 7, you can rearrange the tabs, which heretofore you couldn't before. So if I drag these
say
tabs,
that one again.
I can't. So if I move these clips, notice I can change the order of the tabs.
Very nice. And you can also, I noticed that works down in the sequence too. Like you got a bunch of sequences open.
Absolutely. You can any place there's tabs, you can rearrange them. Let's look at what I call a multi-column sort. Now this is cool. A lot of people don't know you can do this. Let's say, I'm going to move this good column over here, and let's say I have a few shots flagged as good. I'm going to go, that's good, that's good, that's good. Actually, let's go ahead. Notice I got 3 shots that got check marks. These are good. Now I could sort them by that criteria. In other words, I want to group all of the good shots with checks together. And you do that by clicking on the column header. Now as soon as I do that, notice it grouped all those down here at the bottom, but maybe if I wanted them to appear at the top, I click this little triangle and it puts them in ascending order rather than descending order. Yeah. Now here's where it gets fun. Now I have these 3 clips selected with check marks, but let's say I wanted to do a secondary sort. So I've selected them by good, now I want to secondarily sort them by their durations. Okay. So if I hold down my Shift key and click on the duration column, watch what happens. Notice you'll get a little tiny triangle telling you there's a secondary sort. So you get a primary sort of good, and then secondarily they're sorted by duration, 18, 19, 111.
Very nice. You were right, it is fun.
It is fun. You can actually do up to 4 sorts, shift click it 4 times.
It just continues to underscore the fact that, this is in essence a spreadsheet, really.
And we will get to that very shortly.
Okay, sorry.
All right, so the other thing is that you'll do with the browser that I find really handy is you'll rearrange these columns. You'll move them around, but what if you have a column that's just way out here off the farm?
Okay.
You've got this thing called, let's say, master clip. You don't want to drag this way. It's almost like copy and paste. If you right-click on the column header and you say, just hide that column, then just scroll over to the very beginning of the browser and go over here, and the first column just go and say, show master clip. It pastes it there.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Nice. You don't have to drag it around.
Especially when you have all these, because the default set got a lot
Half of
tabs.
this stuff is totally useless.
Yeah.
But in fact,
I love gamma level, man.
you got to have gamma level. Now, let's say I wanted to show a thumbnail. If you right-click on the column header, you're going to go through here and you can find the, show thumbnail. This has been there since version 1.
Right.
And you can click in there and you can scrub. But a lot of people don't know that you can change the actual poster frame here too.
Oh, nice.
So for example, if you scrub to the frame you want, like I maybe want the frame where his head's turned, I hold down the control key, release, and I've just changed the poster frame.
Now, when you saved, did that save it? So if you come back to this project, it's saved in
As that
part of the
poster
project?
frame, exactly. So if I drag, hold down control, change the poster frame. There we go. Let's drag it, there we go.
And you didn't need a different tool. You were still in the selection.
Yes, drag, control, change the poster frame. Now here's a great keyboard shortcut. This is in list view right now, but you want to switch back to the thumbnail view. Shift and the letter H will toggle between the 3 different views. So there's small icon, medium icon, large icon, and then list view.
Nice.
Actually 4 different views. So shift and the letter H. Okay, so there's your views.
Very nice.
Your,
And then people sometimes will use this for that whole storyboard editing technique.
Absolutely. In other words, they'll take these clips and they'll arrange them down here in the order that they want them, and then when you drop them into the timeline, they'll appear in this order. Now, it's interesting, how do you change the thumbnail, the poster frame here, because I can't really drag here.
Right.
Oh, I'm going to give you a keyboard shortcut.
Uh-huh.
If you hold down Control and Shift, your cursor will turn into, actually you have to start with the selection arrow.
Okay.
Control and Shift, you'll get what looks like a little Michael Jackson glove.
Nice.
And then if
This
you
is
drag,
it,
yeah,
baby.
and then when you drag with it, you can change the poster frame with this little glove right there.
And then letting go.
And then letting go, exactly. Let's see if we can find a decent one here. There we go. Yeah, just drag and change. Oh, must not
There we
be
go.
too many frames there. But yeah, that's how you change the poster frame.
Very nice.
So I'm going to go back to Shift H and actually go back to list view. Let's turn on hide that column. And let's go back to your spreadsheet comment.
Okay.
A lot of times you want to print this out. There's a print to video function in Final Cut, but there's no print to paper.
Right.
And there hasn't ever been a print to paper.
Right.
Now you could take a screenshot, but that's okay. I don't really like that. So what I do is go to the File menu, and I choose Export, and I choose Batch List.
Oh, okay.
Now watch. Choose Batch List, and I'm just going to leave it named as Batch List because I probably want to give it the sequence name or something. I'll just leave it as that for now. Save it on the desktop. Okay. Whenever you get dialogues with lots of words, you don't know what it means, always click OK and you'll be fine in life.
Good.
Okay. So
Just make it go away.
So I'm going to go to the Finder.
Okay.
And I'm going to get that file, which is right here, and I'm going to drop it on, guess what? Numbers. This is pretty nifty. Waiting for it bouncing. Guess how it's going to open?
I'm sure it's going to open up as a spreadsheet.
It
Tables.
will. Exactly. It's going to open up with tables, and you're going to see all of the column data, your clips, your marks, everything. It's all right here. And you can print this out, and you can even modify it, and then re-import it back into Final Cut.
Nice. So does this basically, when you're doing the export, does it take your visible set, your
Yes.
current visible set?
Right.
Okay.
Whatever bin is open,
Okay.
that's the one it works with.
Very nice.
Yeah.
These have been some power tips.
Awesome.
And great.
Great.
Where can we learn more awesomeness, more power tipitude from you?
RippleTraining.com.
RippleTraining.com, where we have both Motion, Final Cut, Compressor,
All the new Final Cut Studio 09 apps.
Very nice. Thank you, Steve, for coming in, my friend.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching MacBreak Studio. I'm your host, Brian Gary.
Play artist, right on Dynamite.
Playing artist right on Dynamite. MP3 Music Search, just one of the many voice-activated features from Sync, only on Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury vehicles. Sync, say the word.